How are you doing, everyone? I am the YuGiOh Scrub, but you all can call me Bailey, aka the guy who's wearing all gray today. Yeah, that's right, gray sweatshirt, pants, and hat. Though, I promise you I'm wearing pants. I guess you don't know for sure. Regardless, today we are doing another viewer suggestion. This is Ravens Tires 1747. His suggestion, it's a Magician of Faith abuse deck. Pretty simple and straightforward. Honestly, it's pretty similar to Goat Control, but I like the idea, and so I decided I was going to play it today. So this one's for you, Ravens Tires. Is it Raven Styres or Ravens Tires? You have to let me know. But yeah, we'll go over it real fast. Of course, if we're playing a Magician of Faith abuse deck, we're going to start with, of course, 3 Magician of Faith, and then 3 Apprentice Magician, because if you're going to be abusing Magician of Faith, you got to make sure you see the Magician of Faith. Best way to do that is to do the Apprentice Magician. This card is very good. Special summons a face down position level 2 or lower spellcaster from the deck when it's destroyed by battle. Important thing to note is that it has to be destroyed but not sent to the graveyard, so it's not like Mystic Tomato. If I was to use Creature Swap and give this to my opponent, it activates on the field when it's destroyed, and so if I Creature Swap and then destroy it by attacking over it with whatever, Tribe Infecting Virus, my opponent could special summon a Magician of Faith and not me. So that's important. It did get changed in the Edison format, but in GOAT format, this is how it worked. So just important to note there, that's why I don't have any creature swaps in this deck. But it gets the Magician of Faith or the potential one of Time Wizard. Sometimes this is important. You know, if I have an opportunity to play Time Wizard, I'm going to. I want to try it out in this deck. It's another level 2 spellcaster, but it's a light, so it works in this deck because it's kind of a chaos deck. To go with the Magician of Faith abuse, we're playing 3 Tsukiyomis because, of course, getting that Magician of Faith flip, get back a powerful spell, set it again with Tsukiyomi, just an incredible powerful combo. And then we're going to be playing 2 Dekoichis. I really wanted to fit 3 in this deck, but this is what we have. And so, just another good card, you know, gets you pluses if you're flipping the Tsukiyomi, using Tsukiyomi to flip Dekoichi face down, get more draws. Doesn't work as well with Spy, because obviously Dekoichi, you always have cards to draw, but Spies, you don't always have Gravekeeper Spies to special summon. So Dekoichi's better with the Tsukiyomi flips than Spy. 1 Sangan, and of course we're playing Sangan, we're going to play Jinzo, my favorite combo, Sangan and Jinzo with Call the Haunted in the deck, I just love that. 1 Zaborg, because we are getting enough material, potentially with the Apprentice Magicians, to special summon a face-down Magician of Faith, and then we flip the Faith and tribute for one of these monsters. It does its thing. Other boss monsters, we're playing 2 Chaos Sork and 1 BLS. The idea is that we're going to be drawing a decent amount of cards with our powerful spells that we're getting back, or the Dekoichis, hopefully drawing into the beefy boss monsters and then special summoning them for big damage. Also running Breaker and Tribe, because of course they're just 2 good cards, and the 1 Sinister Serpent. Spells to hopefully be getting back with Magician of Faith, Pot of Greed, Graceful, Delinquent Duo, straightforward, the Trinity, also Premature and Snatch Shield, also straightforward, Heavy Storm MST, hey, knew that, straightforward again, and then Nobleman of Crossouts, running 2 of these. Of course I'm going to run them because they are really powerful, but it does kind of suck because we're running probably the 2 most common flips in the format, so if our Faith, like if we Nobleman of set, say my opponent opens up with, stupid, apologies for that, but opens up with, like a Pot of Greed set monster. I don't know if I want to Nobleman to cross out it right away, because potentially if I don't have a Faith in my hand, I just banish all of my Faiths, assuming that his set face down is Faith. But that's just something to keep in mind. Also is why 1 Time Wizard is good in this deck, because it gives another target for the Apprentice Magician and another light. They're running double Scapegoat and double Metamorphosis, because if we're running a Goat Control deck, you gotta have these, and it works well with the level 1 Magician of Faith. You know, it's just good spells to be getting back. Also, something important that, you know, want to make sure I say is, if I special summon with Apprentice Magician, then I can't end phase Scapegoat. I've made that mistake before playing Recruiter decks, just something to note. If you special summon, no more Scapegoat that turn. And then 2 Book of Moons. I was kind of struggling for space, like for that 3rd Dekoichi or the 3rd Book of Moon, also a, what is it, the Dark Magician spellcaster that can be special summoned, that can pop a monster, just no room for it. 2 Book of Moons, and 1 My Body is a Shield. This is here basically to protect my Magician of Faiths from Nobleman across, because Nobleman destroys and then banishes, kind of like Bottomless Trap Hole, and so My Body is a Shield, because it says when a spell or trap or monster effect that would destroy a monster on the field is activated, you can pay 1,500 life points and negate it. So if my opponent Noblemans, I can negate with My Body as a Shield. Traps, very small lineup. We're running the Mirror Force, the Ring of Destruction, and the Call the Haunted. Side deck, we have some Decrees, we got some Dust Tornado, Sakuretsus, you know, just some standard stuff. I like the Soul Releases in this deck because potentially if we activate 1, we can get it back with the Magician of Faith, and yeah, there we go there. That's the deck. So let's go ahead now that we have done our talking about it, is go and join the GOAT format ladder. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day, and if not, go and make it a fantastic day, and come back and finish this video. And then every other video I have ever produced, we lose the rock, paper, scissors. Worst player in the history of the entire game. We are playing Simia Coco. Not much experience on the GOAT format ladder. Could be a new account. Alright, so he opens up, hitting a Metamorphosis out of my hand with a Delinquent Duo, and we open up. Oh my god, he has Duo and Pot of Greed. But we get to discard the Sinister. Oh my goodness, he has the Trinity. Pot of Greed, Graceful, and Delinquent Duo all in his opening hand. So this is going to be an uphill battle, but he discards a Mystic Swordsman level 2. Make me wonder if he is playing probably Warriors, but we have Magician of Fate, so we'll see what we can do here. Set 5, pass. Awesome. I will, I suppose, stand by. It doesn't matter even if I use Scapegoat. I was thinking I could potentially keep my hand limit down. Alright, so nothing there. We will go ahead and set Scapegoat, set Sinister Serpent, and end our turn. He Dust Tornadoes in the end phase. So no Scapegoat for us. He Reinforcement of the armies. Getting himself Don Zalug. Now comes Nobleman across out. Call of the Haunted. Okay. Gets our Magician of Faith out of the hand. Not Magician of Faith. And hits Jinzo out of our hand. Pause. Hits our Sinister Serpent. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, we draw Tribe Infecting Virus. We'll get back Sinister Serpent. And we will normal Tribe, declare with Prio, unless Judgment. I'm going to wait just in case he has the Judgment. Okay, so he does have Judgment. So that's why I didn't discard the Serpent right away. We'll set the Metamorphosis, because I think we need to keep it in our hand just to be safe. Or keep it not in our hand, but 1400. And hits our Sinister Serpent in 900. Okay. We draw Tsukiyomi. We'll get the Sinister Serpent to our hand. Main phase 1. And I think the play here is going to be set Sinister Serpent, activate Metamorphosis, and try to get this Don Zalugan. Okay. So he goes ahead. We're going to admit defeat here. Bring in some decrees. Aren't decrees good? No, it's a bunch of... Bring in Sakuretsu's. Book of Moons don't seem as good. We're taking out Book of Moons. Maybe take out the Noblemans. Those aren't good. Bring in one Decree. Torrential's also pretty good. Over maybe one Chaos Sork. Yeah, we'll go with this. Okay, so we lost game 1. But I think we had a pretty good shot at winning, despite the fact that my opponent opened up with the Trinity. Our opening hand is, okay, Sangan, My Body's a Shield, Scapegoat, Tsukiyomi, Apprentice Magician, and another Tsukiyomi. We'll go ahead. We'll set Apprentice Magician, set Scapegoat, set My Body as a Shield. He activates a Reinforcement of the Army. Gets a Blade Knight. Sets a few back row. Because it's not a flip. We'll then special summon Magician of Faith from the effective Apprentice Magician. And end our turn. We draw Zaborg. We'll go ahead and try to set the Blade Knight. And we'll attack. Get the Ring of Destruction. That's fine. We'll end our turn. I'll take that ring trade. We're going to lose the Magician of Faith next turn to the Blade Knight, but that's a-okay. So we lose Magician of Faith. He summons another Blade Knight, and we will Scapegoat in the end phase. He Judgments the Scapegoat. We draw another Apprentice Magician. We'll go ahead, summon a second Tsukiyomi, set a Blade Knight, attack over the Blade Knight, and end phase. Just end our turn. Guy's not very nice. Saying that we must lose more than half our duels because we're running 2 Tsukiyomi. How about a third Tsukiyomi that we just drew for turn? Let's go ahead, try to flip the Blade Knight. And we'll end our turn. Unfortunately, not a lot of back row draws. He activates Delinquent Duo, hitting Zaborg out of our hand, and we'll discard a Tsukiyomi. Bet he won't be expecting a third Tsukiyomi. We draw the Magician of Faith, so happy about that. We'll set the Magician of Faith and end our turn. He draws Call of the Haunted, or not draws, uses Call of the Haunted, gets rid of our Magician of Faith. Unfortunate, but fine. We draw Torrential Tribute. We will go ahead. Summon a third Tsukiyomi. And try to attack. Setting a Torrential Tribute and ending our turn. I mean, I get it. I'm sure it's not optimal to play multiple Tsukiyomis, but the dude's kind of just being frustrating. We'll summon a Sangan and attack, but just like, oh, you must lose 80% of the time. Dude, I don't care. It's a freaking online game. So, we go ahead, have a Sangan called Haunted on board. You must lose a lot of the... Let's go ahead. We'll call it the Haunted. Bring back Zaborg. I'm not even going to say anything. I don't feel like antagonizing. Oh, look at that. We get a win. Alright, well... do we just go into it, game 3? We're bringing in one more Royal Decree. Alright, Premature, Tribe, Graceful Charity, Magician of Faith, Call of the Haunted. Hits Graceful Charity. We'll get rid of Call of the Haunted because we have Premature Burial. Only takes you opening pot and duo to win. I'm only saying it because it has happened. Alright, we will set Mirror Force, set Faith, end our turn. He Dust Tornadoes our Mirror Force. He summons Exile, pops our Magician of Faith, flips DD Warrior Lady, and hits us for 1,500. We draw Tsukiyomi, interesting here. What do we want to do? I think we'll just end our turn. Hopefully he doesn't have a Donzalug. That would be the worst, obviously. But I'm imagining he's only playing the one Zalug. Ninja Greymaster Sasuke. And we have the tribe, so we can pop all these monsters. There's a Decree. Pretty nice draw. We will discard Sook. Okay. We'll activate Premature. Discard the Sook. Set the Decree and end, and hope that he doesn't have a bigger monster, which he very well might, but... He is Breaker. He pops our Premature Burial, hitting us for 1600. We'll end phase, Royal Decree. We draw BLS. And sack him for game. Alright, unfortunately he has the Book of Moon. Is he gonna probably have the Mystic Swords in level 2? Gotta just send him some love. Unfortunate that, I mean, that's pretty cool. I like the fact that he had his Book of Moon. I felt so secure drawing that BLS, having the Light and Dark Engrave. Ah, so close. Unless he sided it out. I don't know why he ever would, considering we're playing 3 Tsukiyomi. So terrible. I swear, now I'm just hoping he doesn't come back for the 90 seconds. Just because I think it'd be really funny if I still steal this win in a way that I just don't deserve. I mean, he win this game. Assuming, for whatever reason, he still has the Mystic Swords in level 2 in his deck. But, just because he's been talking, alright, yeah. Game can resume. Yep, so, come on. View your deck. Find yourself your monster. Alright, if this happens more than a few times, I might have to end up pausing this video, calling a judge. Because I'm almost curious if he's doing it on purpose, just because the way he's been talking wouldn't surprise me if he's just being a troll. If it happens a third time, then I'll call a judge and pause the video. "50 seconds. It's about the heart of the cards, not the deck. And like, I don't know, the fact, 3 Sook, how do you have a chance? Because I'm just playing a deck. Not optimal, it's not terrible. Alright, do we see if it happens a third time? I'm gonna guess it does. I'm feeling like it does, because this is now getting kind of strange. I'm keeping this in the video, at least for right now. Am I recording? Yeah, my audio is good. This is fishy, to say the least. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Alright. Yeah, no, I'm calling just because this is really strange. I mean, I'm not gonna just quit. I mean, maybe he sided it out. Like, I fully acknowledge that I have almost certainly lost, but like... Is this scummy of me? Let me know. Like, if he just put it on the field, I'd even feel better about quitting. I feel like he's gonna come back, yeah. Why would he side it out? We draw the Dekoichi. We'll normal summon, flip summon, attack with Dekoichi. Am I gonna have to call a judge because this guy's getting salty? I don't. Don't know why he would side out when he sees Magician of Faith and 3 Tsukiyomi. Clearly I'm trying to flip my monster's face down. I have a meme deck that was a viewer. I'm not even gonna say viewer suggestion because he's gonna be like, what's your channel? Literally, it's Magician. Like, that is the point of my deck. I'm not saying it's good, but can we continue? It's fun. Dude. Heart of the cards. Play or I'll need to call a judge, please. All right, well, I will see you guys in the next match, maybe next video, probably next match. Well, the opponent was very salty that I beat him with my Magician of Faith spam deck with 3 Tsukiyomis. We waited for a few minutes for the judge, and then he quit for a 4th time and finally didn't come back. So that's the end of that salty player saga, which you guys will see. I'll actually have to edit this video because now I'm going to have to go into my editing software and put 2 videos together. But What can you do? Opponent opens with Thunder Dragon. Our opening hand is Snatch, Steal, Tsukiyomi, Break of the Magical Warrior, Ring of Destruction, and Magician of Faith. Continuing to use the Magician of Faith spam deck, obviously, with this terrible, bricky, awful Tsukiyomi. How awful of a card this is. Only got me 3 pluses in that last duel against my salty opponent. Opponent sets 1 monster and 1 back row. We draw YuGiOh. I will go ahead, summon Breaker the Magical Warrior. We'll try to pop this back row. It's a Jar of Greed. And we'll attack this face-down monster. Dekoichi. Okay, so he gets some pluses. We'll set Ring of Destruction and end. Hopefully, this turn what we can do is protect Breaker the Magical Warrior using Ring of Destruction, and then tribute over him for YuGiOh in the next turn. We get 1,000 life points from our opponent using an Upstart Goblin, so he's playing a Chaos Turbo deck from the looks of it. Hopefully he won't be as salty as our last opponent. He also has a Pot of Greed, that's fine. Drew 1 card from the Pot of Greed. Should draw a second. Yeah, okay. So, accidentally drew a 3rd card, but he shuffled. Everything's okay now. That was a weird pause. I was thinking for a second, I'm like, is he trying to cheat me? Is he trying to accidentally, in air quotes, draw 3 cards? I activate Pot of Greed, which lets me draw 3 cards from my deck. Opponent sets 1 and 1 back row. 1 monster, 1 back row. We will go ahead and just tribute for YuGiOh. In case that's a Regeki break. I think it's a Knight Assailant. Magician of Faith. So, I'm fine with that. He gets Pot of Greed. We will set MST. He could have Heavy Storm, but that'd be a 2 for 2. We lose Ring of Destruction, but that's dead, and I just don't want this getting Snatch stolen. That's the biggest reason why I set the MST. I mean, my opponent's already seen 22 cards from their deck. Yet it's only turn 4. You know, his second turn. Or is it just third? Regardless. We got YuGiOh on board. We're feeling pretty good. He sets another monster. And another back row. Another 2 back row. And ends his turn. We draw Dekoichi. We'll go ahead. Could be now the Knight Assailant. It's a Gravekeeper's Spy. We will set Dekoichi of our own and end our turn. He has Nobleman across out, banishes our Dekoichi, which will banish our other Dekoichi from the deck. Apparently he's not running no Dekoichis, except for the 1. Maybe he has 1 or 2 in his hand. Most likely. Keeping Snatch Steal in our hand. He banishes a Light and a Dark to summon... what? Chaos Orc or BLS? BLS. And banishes another Light and Dark for Chaos Sorcerer. Switches the summons Breaker. tries to pop our MST with the breaker. We will chain MST to pop something. Hit a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. We'll take 600. And we will chain Ring of Destruction on the second attack of BLS. Again, not really chain, but activate the Ring of Destruction. Take 23 and 2800 from the combined attack of Gravekeeper Spy and Breaker, the Magical Warrior. And okay, his Ring of Destruction for game. So maybe bring in Soul Releases, Decrees. Zaborg seems fine. We'll take one Suki. Oh no, take out the Book of Moons. And we'll see how this goes. Had more black coffee today than regular coffee with milk. It's been delicious. Okay, our opening hand is fantastic. We have Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Dekoichi, Nobleman, Apprentice Magician, and Scapegoat. Start with the Pot of Greed. Get Decree and Premature Burial. Activate Graceful Charity. Get Tribe, Apprentice, Chaos Sork. Discard one Apprentice Magician and Dekoichi. We'll then set the Apprentice Magician and Royal Decree. Not setting the Scapegoat because it wouldn't work with the Apprentice Magician if he does run it over in battle. Standby is fine. Not a huge... I mean, Trap Dust Shoot is fantastic, but I'm not a huge fan of running it in my decks. I'm also just noting that the Apprentice Magician has, like, the same knee pads, I think, as Dark Magician. Opponent sets one, and we will just activate the Royal Decree. We draw Delinquent Duo. Lovely. So we'll activate Duo right away. Hitting Chaos Orc out of his hand. Nice little hit right there. And a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. We will summon the Tribe Infecting Virus. And we'll flip Apprentice Magician. We'll just go for 2,000 damage. Alright, he takes the 2,000. We'll end our turn. The reason I summon the Tribe is because we have Premature Burial, so if we need it, we'll be able to get the Tribe Infecting Virus back. He has no light in his grave, just a dark. He sets a monster. And ends. We draw My Body as a shield. We'll Nobleman right away. It was a Magician of Faith, so unfortunately we lose our faiths, which is the whole point of this deck, but that's fine, because I'll take getting rid of his faiths as well. We'll then go ahead and just attack for another 2,000. And we'll set My Body as a shield, just in case somehow he has like a lightning vortex or something along those lines. He does discard a Thunder Dragon, which gives him that light that he maybe wanted. The set Magician of Faith is interesting as well, just because he didn't have a spell, so that tells me maybe this is a spell. It could be a Book of Moon. He has Heavy Storm. Unfortunately, we lose Decree. And okay, so it was a Book of Moon. I had the correct read there. He sets one back row and ends. We draw another Nobleman across out. We'll change this to defense and just attack with 1,600 worth of damage from the Tribe. Putting Apprentice Magician in defense because if it is a Mirror Force... Nope, it's a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. He top decks our Tribe Infecting Virus. We'll end our turn. He has a Light in the Dark Engrave, 1 Thunder Dragon in his hand, so 2 unknown cards. We have 2 darks in the grave, no lights. There's the Tribe. We'll go ahead. Nobleman across out. That other face down. It was a Tsukiyomi. And we'll summon the Tribe. This is 2,000. So we could put him at 400 or 600. We'll try it. So he takes 1,400 more. So this turns off Ring of Destruction as a draw, turns off Premature Burial as a draw. Okay, so we get another game win. The fact that we saw Book of Moon and Tsukiyomi, I'm gonna maintain the same deck, though. I'm gonna wait for him to be done siding. Do we bring in My Body as a shield? We'll bring in a Smashing Ground over My Body. If it lets us. Yep, okay, there we go. So, we'll be going second. Opening hand is Heavy Storm, Scapegoat, Scapegoat, Faith, BLS. He has Upstart Goblin. I do like the Phoenix Wings over Regeki Breaks. Not all the time, but I'm a big fan of Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. So, he goes ahead, activates Pot of Greed into the Delinquent Duo. Get a 3. 1. Hits our Magician of Faith, and we'll obviously discard a Scapegoat as well, because we have 2 of them. We draw Dekoichi. We'll set Dekoichi, set Scapegoat, end our turn. He MSTs our set Scapegoat. That's unfortunate, but fine. I hope he doesn't have a Nobleman across out. That would really blow. He has Mind Control. Not ideal. In a way worse, but at least we will be getting the Dark not banished. If we draw a Jinzo or a Zaborg, then there's more potential there. He flips Gravekeeper's Spy, so he's going to be pushing for at least 2,400 damage. Can't attack with the Dekoichi. If he sets a bunch of back row, then we're in an okay-ish position because we have the Heavy Storm. So he attacks for 1,200. Sets a back row and a monster, and we get back to Koichi. We draw Decree. We will activate Heavy Storm. It was a Jar of Greed. We will attack the Gravekeeper's Spy and set Royal Decree. The BLS in hand is the only thing keeping us remotely in this game right now. He has a Magician of Faith, gets back Pot of Greed. Yep. Activates Pot of Greed. Draws 2 more, so card advantage not in our favor. If he summons Tsukiyomi, that would be really bad. Sets 2 back row. We draw Sinister Serpent. We'll go ahead and try to attack the Magician of Faith. And we'll Royal Decree that Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. The reason I didn't flip it in the end phase is because I figured it might be a discard trap, and we could get an extra discard out of him, but of course it's a Sinister Serpent, so... We do put a light in his grave, the Sinister Serpent in his grave as well, and then we will go ahead, set Sinister Serpent, just for more protection. Leave us a little more open to a Nobleman across out, which is unfortunate, but I would love if we just get this Dekoichi in the grave, so that I can special summon BLS and hopefully start swinging for some bigger damage. I feel like my opponents recently have been making that mistake more, where they'll add back, I think one guy added back Thunder Dragon, the other guy adds back Magician of Faith, but nope, adds back Sinister Serpent. Also, I didn't even see that. I was so focused on thinking about my own board and situation that I completely missed him adding back Magician of Faith. But he corrects it, sending Magician of Faith back to the graveyard, getting self Sinister Serpent. He's viewing his own graveyard. So he does banish a light and a dark. BLS. Attack. No, but he does banish my Sinister Serpent. We draw Metamorphosis. Unfortunately, I think I have to make this play where I attack into the BLS for 1600. Banish a light and a dark for BLS and declare banishing his BLS. And we'll end our turn. I just have to hope he doesn't have Snatch Steal or anything along those lines. He has a Knight Assailant. Gives me another 1,000 life points with a premature or Upstart Goblin, but I still like Premature Burial as a potential draw. Correct? Yep. Hits me for 1,400 damage from the Gravekeeper Spy and Knight Assailant attacks combined. We draw Apprentice Magician. We'll summon Apprentice Magician and try to attack the Knight Assailant. He takes a few hundred life points. We'll end our turn. He has no light in his grave, so he can't banish this with a Chaos Monster. So to get it off the board, he will likely have to attack over it, which will give us Magician of Faith. He just switches the Gravekeeper Spy to defense position and sets another monster. We will set Dekoichi and swap our Apprentice Magician to defense. I don't think there's any purpose in attacking over what is likely a Faith or a Dekoichi. Discards Thunder Dragon, so there's the light that he needed. Magician of Faith on board would also be great because then we could Metamorphosis it. It is a Dekoichi, so I'm glad I didn't attack into it with the Dekoichi or the Apprentice Magician. I think that would have been pointless. He goes to battle, attacks over our Dekoichi with his Dekoichi, sets another monster, and goes to end phase. We draw Tsukiyomi. We'll go ahead and just end our turn. I think with Snatch Steal in hand, it's better to keep Tsukiyomi Thought process being if he summons a Chaos Sorcerer, then we can snatch, steal, and flip it face down with the Tsukiyomi. He has Night Assailant to pop our Apprentice Magician, and now he is swinging for bigger damage. So this is 2,800 on board right now, but he tributes the Night Assailant for 1,600. So 3,000, 4,200 on board, plus Banish the Light and the Dark. I'm 99.9%. Yeah, it's more than game. GG's. And we had the Jinzo top deck. So yeah, I mean, he had Snatch Steal in his hand. Wouldn't have been great. So, yeah. Is what it is. Good games, my friend. And let's go show this deck one more time. This terrible, terrible deck with, how dare I, 3 Tsukiyomis. How absolutely awful of a deck. I must have a 80% loss rate because I run the 3 Tsukiyomis. You know, maybe. I lost one match, I beat that guy. All I care about is the fact that I beat the salty guy today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it does make for the greatest of content watching me kind of get retaliatory, is that the right word? Salty a little bit back at my opponent, but like, if you're gonna be like that with me, then at a certain point I'm like, okay dude, cool, I'll be back at it. Throw it right back at you. Can't dish it out, can't take it. Regardless, I think it's a pretty fun deck. You know, like the idea. Oh my goodness. I apologize, guys. I keep setting timers, forgetting to put it to vibrate. It's twice in the same video. Regardless, Magician of Faith, Apprentice Magician, fun cards, really good. You know, Magician of Faith is the best light monster in the format for a reason, besides, like, BLS. But also, you could even argue that BLS is not quite as good as Faith, because Faith can get back the best power spells in the game. What is better, Faith or BLS? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.